Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online. Today we are having a kin event on Anor. We are going to be doing the Tower of Orthanc raid, which is the level 75 Rise of Isengard raid. But I think most of us are going to be over leveled. It should be relatively easy to go through. But I think I will be going on my Runekeeper, I'm not entirely sure. But this is a fun raid, and I think it will be fun to talk about the raid while going through it. Even if it might not be too challenging, but I do know we've run it at like the level 85 cap, and it actually has been a little bit difficult for a kin, especially if we don't have many people. If we like 6-man it can be a little bit difficult, and I know at least the 75 content when we went back and did it is scaled pretty toughly, because it's like one of those non-scaling raids, so I think the balance with it was actually tough on release. And I forgot that I didn't quite fully finish getting set up with my stream here, so I'm just going to be another minute organizing my windows. That's why you see me not actually doing anything in the game, but I think that is everything. But yeah, that's what's going on today. I should probably do some stuff on this character because I do expect to be taking my Runekeeper, which means I should probably go to Bree. I do have the Return to Bree on him. I think we got that in the Rediscovering Helm's Deep stream. Is when I did that, finally got the Return to Bree. It's something I've been meaning to do and like to do on all my characters just because it's super convenient and you can do it. But I need to go here to go to the person by the Boar Fountain to do the VIP daily quest. I have been having a little bit of issues with YouTube and the streaming today. So hopefully everything runs smoothly now that it's live, but that is why I was a few minutes late from what I was scheduled. And as far as the stream being scheduled, I actually did that at like 2 something, but when I came back to just go to the stream as it was, it disappeared, so I had to make a new event, and hopefully there's not like a duplicate going on or anything like that. But we got the VIP rewards daily, got the jug, but I don't plan to craft, and got the town services, which is the more important thing. And there goes my Chrome window, for some reason totally taking up all my CPU, so gotta close that. I like having that one open like the regular stream page just because it's a little bit easier for me to read chat, but YouTube has updated like their control panel for streaming. I don't know if anybody here would be familiar with that, but they have updated that where it is a lot easier for me to manage chat and actually see what's going on that page. I used to basically not be able to read chat at one update. And I think we have a few minutes before we actually start like forming the group for Tower of Orthanc. I was, if I had time, going to start the stream a bit earlier, but that never happened. What am I doing? I need to do legendary item stuff. I was like going to the crafting hall like I needed to do something there, but I was thinking about getting on Louis just to do like a little bit of crafting and get caught up on that stuff. I did do a lot of crafting this morning. I know I mentioned in my stream yesterday on him that I was planning on doing that, and I did get to it. The crafting does take a while, even with like the subscribers jug where you craft everything in 1 second. It still takes a while to get through. And apparently low-level mats, at least on Arkenstone, cost a lot of gold. Let's see, this is shared storage. I don't know why I opened that. I'm talking about things and not really doing anything in the game. Normally when I'm like fighting mobs, that much I can do while talking, but if I'm actually trying to focus on doing something like the legendary item forge here, that is a lot more difficult to do while talking about something completely different. Unless I actually get started with it, like now I'm just pretty much on autopilot with what I'm doing. I do need to find out with this runestone which one I want to keep and which one, which one's going to be for healing and which one's going to be for DPS. I think the one called Fire was at least first going to be the one for DPS, but I think the one on the left called Snowball is the lightning one is a bit better for healing. Or no, that one's better for DPS and the one on the right's better for healing. So I totally left off where that was with my mouse. So I'm just trying to think real quick which one, like if I'm healing, I'm expecting to heal this instance. I don't know if it matters too much, but that's just something I was thinking of. I just need to upgrade one, so I'll do Fury of Storm critical damage because I usually play lightning over fire on this character, at least lately. Maybe in the future I'll be more in the mood for fire. When I have gone like DPS on this character in group content, sometimes I do prefer fire. I've tried lightning, but I think fire is a lot more fun in longer fights, and you really only get that in group content, at least at this level in Lotro. But I am expecting to heal. If I do DPS, I probably would switch to... Well, we actually have a lot of people on. I think only a few people signed up for the event on, like, we have a website for the kinship, and only a few people signed up, I thought, but maybe we will only have, like, a smaller portion of everybody on. Hey, Sanium. Yep, doing good here. Besides a little bit of issues with trying to get the stream started, but everything looks like it's working fine with that. We've been live. Actually don't even know how long I've been live because I just set OBS to start streaming now whenever I'm like getting close to ready. Just to make sure everything's working with that, but yeah, we've just been going a few minutes. I didn't even think about this, but I should clear my inventory before we get doing anything. I am probably, during the downtime, might do a couple things in West Rohan. Rohan, west of Nat. Oh, can I not swift travel anywhere? I would have thought I could swift travel back to it, but I do have my Return to Edoras milestone. We will see if I for sure need to heal, but I'm fine healing. I think healing is fun. But usually we have other healers that like basically like healing, so I don't want to take it away from them like when we usually have our full regular raid team. But I think as far as raiding with like my kinship goes, that has died down a little bit. We were doing a lot with Riders of Rohan, but there's only so much you could do at that point. You had like the new instance cluster, but you weren't really even getting much gear from that. A little bit at the start for, I think, the legendary rings. You could get some stuff for those if I remember correctly, like the Warm Fires, the Sunbrands, Moon Candles. I'm surprised I remember the name of all those. I think there's one more I did not touch on, but I don't know. And some additional news is I did get Dungeons and Dragons Online installed. I will tomorrow stream that. I'm not entirely sure when I will stream that. I've been thinking about trying to do morning streams, but I might start that off the next week. And if I do morning streams, maybe I could do like different, that would actually probably not work if I did different games like Saturday morning. I would actually want to do Lotro specifically as far as streams go at a different time. But I want to try to pick like a day that I can consistently do games other than Lotro to stream. Like once a week or even every other week that day. Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday I like to stream the kin events, so those are kind of out. Monday is a possibility. Although that would be for me at least, a little bit of an odd day. Maybe Thursday. Thursday could be good because we have kin events Wednesday and Friday, but then at the same time, Thursday's like a good day to me to pick up with other content, like outside of Anor. And Sunday's going to be low level stuff. Let's see if I think for some reason my specs are a little bit backwards on this character, so I have lightning, then healing, then fire. Usually I have like the 2 DPS ones, and normally it'd be fire at 1, lightning at 2, and healing at 3. Hey Quainfell, you say DDO has a plus 10% XP buddy bonus weekend at the moment. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I'm not too sure how interested I'll be in like with bonus XP, but I guess it will be a nice thing going through it. I'm not sure, like compared to Lotro, with Lotro at least, I don't think bonus XP usually matters too much unless you are trying to level fast. I do that sometimes, but when I'm just starting out a game, I really don't know with DDO how it works exactly, if they even have regular zones in that, or if it's more just like going through dungeons. I really have no idea with that game. I have played it, and it's been a very long time though since I did last play it, and I only briefly played it. I think I got like level 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. I remember not necessarily disliking it, but I don't think it was my favorite thing at the same time. I think we are just waiting. Oh, I should probably join Discord. That would be something I usually do. Pretty sure I got my headphones set up. I think last time I tried this I didn't have everything ready, but now I was kinda... We used to have this a lot when I was streaming back like a year ago. Where they would just be like sitting around doing nothing during raids, which is just something that goes on with raids, but I feel like when I would usually try to stream or do something on my own, I try to keep things busy, so just having random downtime of not really moving at all is a bit weird, and I guess just gotta get used to it again. But with DDO, it is instance heavy, but has Slayer areas. Yeah, I'll have to see how that works. I actually like the idea of just like going through dungeons and being the instance heavy part. I would have to play through it, which I plan to. I will do that tomorrow so I can be sure I use the DDO free quest code, because I'm basically starting off with a new account. Actually, I think I did make a new account for it because I couldn't find out my old account login info. I haven't even made a character. I did log into the game though to check like some of my settings and get my graphics settings ready, so all that at least was ready to go. Let's see, I have kind of thinking of all the things. One thing that actually came really nice with Luiden, so I was doing the crafting on him, and he was, I guess, at the point where he needed guild crafting and was like starting fresh off with crafting, so I had to go through all my characters and send him all the mats I had, but I didn't have, actually had hardly any of the low level crafting mats. Or especially like the medium level ones, I didn't have many of, and I'm thinking I'll need to buy more of the high level ones, but my point is the mobile auction house, I could do that in the Estelden craft hall, and the reason I want to be in the Estelden craft hall is it has all the craft facilities, and then you can also learn the guild crafting there. And once you have the guild crafting, I actually think Galtrav is one of the better places to craft. at least one of the better places that I've been to frequently and remember, but you have all the guild crafting areas there. I wonder if, I think my audio isn't working here. Not the in-game audio, but the Discord audio, which you all should not be able to hear. Let's see. Ow. Okay. That is hurting my ears. I don't know if y'all can hear it through my headphones, but sometimes it does that, and it is really annoying. Oops. Discord audio working, rather. I just realized they were like probably talking in Discord this whole time. I was unusually quiet.
You'll start the fight and pull everything, and I'm going to peel the Taskmaster off of you.
Okay, you all probably heard that, and it probably got loud, but that was switching the audio devices, that output for Discord. I put it on that thing that's hurting my ears again, but even when I turn it down, it's just like a really annoying noise. But I wasn't expecting, because my speakers are set up pretty loud, because I have like one little USB speaker just for my computer audio when I do this, but I have no idea what's going on. I think they're all ready to go, and I just realized I can't hear anything. But the in-game audio, I wonder why... If I can do something with Windows? Hopefully I don't break anything with the stream here, but at least with the audio for that. Let's see. And I thought I had everything ready, because everything looked ready. Okay, I have no idea what's going on with my headphones, but I wonder if there's another way I can actually hear the in-game sound. I could plug these wired, maybe. I think I have a audio port for that, but I have to find a wire. I think this one's too small. It's like the auxiliary cable, but a smaller version than the regular 3.5 millimeter. But sorry for all the troubles with this stream. It's not going well over here because I'm having nothing with the audio on my end working. And I'm still having, I don't know if y'all can hear that if I put it like right up to the mic, but that is the noise that my headphones are making. And it's all just static. Oh, there it's back. And I wonder why the audio source isn't, output device I mean, isn't working. One thing I can do, so I'm going to switch. You will probably not hear the in-game audio anymore. Or you all, yeah, won't hear it for a minute, but I'll get it back set up. Okay, so I'm going to change it to that. I think that's just one of my monitors. Oh, that's going loud again. Oh, I have the... Dang it, I put the Discord audio on that one again. And I have no idea what you all are hearing because I can't hear anything. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Okay, so again, sorry for all the issues. But yeah, sorry for the issues, everybody watching the stream, because that was totally something I haven't had to do before. Yep, I can hear. Can you all hear me? Okay, everything's good with that. I am going to disable raid chat on this, and I need to have that here. I think I talked about this a little bit, but just talking to some people in the kin. That, like, with the kin chat, raid chat, and like fellowship chat, I have that at the bottom right with the blur just for oh yeah, I'm healing, not damaging. I was using my like damaging skills, the hotkeys for those, but yeah, I don't know who's tanking. I assume Jimmy and Cademan, maybe? This is the same thing we were running Thring tier 2 on this character. This is, after all those issues, I wasn't really ready to heal, but they were waiting so long on me. So it's probably fortunate for me that everybody's a bit higher level, I think, to make it a little bit easier to heal. I think this is my first time also healing this instance. I don't remember healing it before. I do know when I was playing DPS here that I was taking a ton of damage though, so I know at least from that perspective it probably wasn't easy with the healing. So Cyanium, you love the randomness, it makes it more interesting. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I just can't hear the in-game audio now, which is actually how I used to have it set up, but I like being able to hear that. Yeah, this does seem easier than the last time I ran it, even without being from the DPS perspective. Probably helps everybody's higher level. I think I'm actually the lowest level here. Wow, I am. It's like Thring when it's the lowest level, but that time the boss was level 95. And I think I was still 85 at the time. That was really fun getting that accomplished. But Tower of Orthanc, what I was going to do during the stream was talk a little bit maybe about some Rise of Isengard and my experience with this raid, because it was the first time I was at the level cap, and now like 30 minutes almost into the stream I can finally get to that. I don't need to be spamming him with heals, but it's just a safe thing because I don't know when they're going to pull. I think we actually have 2 tanks anyway. But just pressing buttons, I guess, while talking as well as doing all that healing. So yeah, Isengard was the first time I got to the level cap. By that time, the Great River Zone was already released, I think. At least I'm pretty sure. And I got to the level cap on my Warden. And at that time, it was before they did the changes to like the traits, the clash traits, and how all that worked. So I think at that time, like, oh no, I got stuck. A few of us got stuck out. That's what I get for not paying attention to the instructions for this fight. Oh, he's actually hitting me. I thought I'd try to hit him. Get out of that poison, at least I guess here. Hopefully they can get through it. I'm having some of my group heals, but I think they're only going to people actually here. Oh, I also don't have any do not falls up. So that's like a few things I should be doing, and I'm not doing with this, but yeah, with getting to the cap, that was on the warden. And where was I? Oh yeah, at the time, so skills like generated threat, tanking, the aggro portion of tanking wasn't based on like being a tank spec. You would just generate more aggro, like the way it works now. You used to have skills that would do like a high amount of threat and things like that. I'm really doing nothing with my heals right now, but might as well try see if a fellowship... Oh, a fellowship heal did get Cademan briefly. These guys can attack us, that's kind of a good thing. Oh, barely got myself bubbled. Okay. I probably was a little too dangerous, too close to that gate there. But yeah, at that time, with level 75 getting my ward in there, I didn't really know too much what to do. I didn't know all of the strong gambits and how to tank or do things like that. But I did know about the morale taps because that was really fun, and back then the morale taps were a lot stronger than they are now. At least I wasn't the only one getting stuck back here. Okay, I think, I guess I can actually res these people. No. I was out of combat. That was annoying because I was out of combat. I think... Oh, I guess it wouldn't work now, but I tried to res Bana. I think... I guess I'll go ahead and retreat. I need somebody to res them. But I don't even know what I was talking about with the warden anymore, besides like the forced taunts and not forced taunts, but aggro. So the first really introduction to endgame group content I remember was doing some of the 3-mans in Isengard. And I think there's one specific one that I remember for some reason. I remember going into Foundry or something like that. I don't know if that's one of the 3-mans. I should probably walk and talk instead of just open up the panel. It's kind of hard to see where I'm going with that if I move it way over here, but the Foundry, no, that's a 6-man. Maybe I did do that, or it was Pits of Isengard. Fangorn's Edge, though. I know it was not Darkneck Unleashed. Did I go the wrong way? I think I did go the wrong way. Here we go. I don't know why I ran into that little tube, but I guess not paying attention again with this instance panel. But Fangorn's Edge, I remember that one in particular, and that's like when I was learning about all the aggro generating things. Oh, I didn't even get to do any of the rezzing. Doesn't really matter. I don't need the res deed. I still have a few deeds like Do Not Fall. I'll probably put one Do Not Fall on the captain at least. And the other one, eventually, I don't know who would be likely to die in this group, maybe a tank. Normally I would do maybe one of the DPSs, sometimes we have some that are like squishier. Better get the heal over times going and well, they're probably gonna come running after me now. That's one thing with the Runekeeper, you want to put heal over times on the tank, but then you pull aggro. Try and stay out of the poison while I get up to where I can heal. Yeah, one thing in Lotro is a lot of heals like Rousing Word are fellowship wide. So it's something like if you have two healers and you have two groups, like two fellowships within your raid, then it's not as big of a deal because then each group has one healer affecting the fellowship. But if you're one man healing a group like this where you have two people on their own, it is something I just have to keep in mind with keeping those two healed up, and they won't like get stuff from Rousing Words, which Rousing Words in particular is a strong heal. I need to make a new chat tab here with Kin Fellowship and Raid. It's hard enough for me to keep up with something on the bottom right where I normally just don't really look on the screen. I'm used to it being the big chat box here on the left. But yeah, this seems significantly easier than what I remember the last time we ran it. But this particular fight is usually the first one that gave us trouble, even at level 85. I'm not sure if I've ever done this where we haven't had issues on this fight, as in wiping on it. But it's fun to do when we're at least close to that level range, even if we are a bit over leveled. It's, I think, a fun raid. Which I haven't even gotten. I talked about the 3-man my first time actually doing group content. And I was playing with another warden and a hunter at the time. The other warden was actually Jimmy here, but on a different character on Arkenstone. And he was helping me learn the warden a bit. And especially like how to generate threat and all of that. But outside of generating threat and that, I would usually use, as far as like doing damage, oh, he needed a lot of healing. If I was getting all my heals over time, ready to start off, that wouldn't have been like as bad trying to heal him real quick. Might even do a Fates Entwine. The morale looks good, but it just seems like there's a lot going on. Cushion the blow a little bit. But yeah, that was really fun. I don't know why I specifically remember Fangorn's Edge for the first instance, but that's the one I do remember. And then maybe I did do the 6-man, the Foundry. That name at least sounds familiar, but I thought it was another 3-man. But maybe, I would have to go to it again. It's been a long while since I've done those, but Pits of Isengard could be the one I'm thinking of for another 3-man. But I did go to Dragnok Unleashed. That one, I know I did not do. Let's see, I have my second Do Not Fall, so I'll go ahead and get that on him. And I need to get my power up. But I'm trying to remember if I got this, not this character, but my Runekeeper, who was the same name, and the only difference is he was an elf instead of a high elf on Arkenstone, but I'm trying to remember if I got him to 75 during Rise of Isengard as well. I know he was in Moria, and that's kind of where I left him off to go to my Warden because I hated Moria so much. But I don't remember for the Runekeeper if I got him to the cap at that point. I actually have my old screenshot folder. Maybe if we have a little bit of downtime I can look at that and see if that would give any hint to my character levels and around the time frame, but I don't remember if we've ever had too much trouble with this boss fight. I kind of remember there being some things to him, but mostly simple. Oh, and here's our raid leader just saying this boss is kind of tricky. So maybe it is one we had a little bit of trouble with. Or I don't even know trouble if it's tricky, but just one that's more involved than I was thinking it was. But to get back to my Warden, I think it's fine. Unless somebody else wants to help, that's fine too. Okay. Yeah, he was asking if we need another healer, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but it seems like it's going okay so far. Some fights, I don't know, maybe another healer could be helpful. It's also a bit tricky because I'm streaming and easy for me to get like distracted, but try to keep up with everything going on. But anyway, back to my Warden and raiding. I'm not sure I actually did Tower of Orthanc ever when that was out, like when I was at the cap at Rise of Isengard, but I did do Dragok, and I remember that raid being fun. I'm not sure why I didn't get to Tower of Orthanc, but I just don't like specifically remember running it. It's possible that I could have and like maybe did a few bosses of it, but didn't actually run it all. One thing I definitely don't remember is the last fight of this raid, the Sauron fight. I don't think I ever did that before, and I have done it a few times now, but back during the original Rise of Isengard days, I don't think I did that. But Dragok was fun. I enjoyed that. It's a really weird raid because you have to like damage his, do something. I'm thinking his claws, but that doesn't actually sound right. But then you finally go down and fight him on the big pile of gold. I think is the way it works. Hey Bobby Bobic, and you really like the Warden? But he's so hard to play. Yeah, the Warden takes a bit to get used to. I think it is a fun class as well. It's my favorite class, but first you have to memorize the gambits and know what they do, so that's like the first layer of difficulty with the fight. I guess I should start have another Do Not Fall ready. Start getting the tanks, a little bit of heals. So yeah, that was my initial jump into in-game content. Again, I don't remember specifically with the Foundry if I did that for the Rise of Isengard, or the Isengard really, 6-man. But I do remember the Great River one, so Limelight Gorge I enjoyed. I don't think I did too many like of the quests there, but I did do the instance. And I remember liking that instance, and it's one of the things I remember most from that era, especially the last boss fight. I don't know if it was like something... I kind of remember frequently having trouble with it back in the day. Probably didn't help, I probably wasn't that great of a player. So it looks like we got another healer. I'm guessing the minstrel's going to be healing. That would be the time I'd like to weave in Flurry of Words, but it actually casts so fast. I don't know if I had something to increase my induction speed, but I'm not sure if I got the boss into that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I saw the debuff on him, so did hit him. I don't know why, but I meant to mention this at the beginning of the stream, and I don't know why I just think of it right now, like in the middle of a boss fight, but I wanted to say at the beginning if anybody could let me know if they enjoy this type of content, like just having a stream of a random lower level instance, even though our group is a bit higher level. If that is something enjoyable, like if it comes... If I do this sort of thing somewhat frequently, I don't even know how frequently because it depends how often the kin would do it as a kin event, but if it is something enjoyable, let me know. Or if it's like particularly boring watching something like this, also let me know that, because this is a good time. I like having background gameplay in my videos, as anybody who watches those probably knows, so it's not just like me doing nothing and talking. There's not much look to those shoulders, but there's like 2 light armor pieces that were probably good back in the level 75 with these servers. I don't know how good these pieces would have been, but it seems like that. Sayanium asked if I will ever do IRL videos. You're quite interested in your progression as a YouTuber. You're one of the first Let's Players you watched, and you love all the Lotro content. Not entirely sure. I would first of all have to think of what to do. Like I was thinking about doing my setup I have here, like my desk, and playing Lotro gaming / streaming / all that type of stuff, that setup. I wonder, I just looked over and the audio seems a little bit weird on OBS. I know we had a lot of issues, but everything actually looks fine with that. But yeah, that's something, I don't know, maybe in the future, but I'm just not sure. I think he's going back to pick somebody up. But I'm pretty sure with this raid we need to go over to the next little instance portal thing. I think a portal is a really bad name for that. It's sewers? I don't even know if these are sewers, but tunnels, like, what are those things that hamsters or rats or something? What are those called? Like hamster tubes that people run through? Not people run through, but hamsters. Something like that. Anyway, that's almost what these look like. This is the Experimentation Pit, and I think I got... Did I go to the wrong side? Ooh. Most of my heals are like... Or at least one of my good ones is fellowship wide, but... If the minstrel's that way, it's fine, but I think I went down the wrong path. Let's see, does the runestone? I don't know if the runestone heals fellowship wide or raid wide. Let's see. Should see some numbers pop up. So it did that guy, this guy. Yeah. Yeah, a few of mine are fellowship wide. I wonder epic for the ages. If that, there's a splash component of that. I wonder if that heals fellowship wide or if anybody nearby. And then I know at least SA Exaltation is everybody nearby, and I don't know our Fates Entwined. Maybe that's also just fellowship and not raid wide. So Sandy said I could talk about that train that's no longer here anymore. It made you laugh when it would go off. That's good. I always thought it was probably more annoying, but if it was funny, that's a lot better. Don't have that anymore. The loudest things, there's a lot of loud cars here. That's probably the loudest thing around here. I do actually live close to a mall, but it's like a small mall. So there's not like traffic noise or anything like that going on there, even if there are like cars that are loud. People like loud cars up here, I guess. But my PC build, so I have for my GPU a GTX 970, which is a few years old now. I keep thinking it's a couple years old, but it was like already a couple years old. Like a couple years ago when I first started thinking that. Oh, I totally missed that. Sorry, I was slow on me. Oh. Taking a lot of damage. I thought I was slow. I thought I was just slow on the healing, but then you went down real quick too. Okay, a little bit more prepared. I'm going to put probably do not fall on the minstrel and captain. Oh, I'm gonna get him back healed up. Oh no, I used my bubble, so I lost the attunement for Epic for the Ages. But I will get back to my PC build when this crazy fight is over. It's actually kind of fun because it's single targeted. This is where the Runekeeper, I feel like, is really strong. It's sustained. He's not like going down taking one big hit that's 30,000, but it's slowly built up. That's like perfect for Runekeeper healing over time. Okay, I was not ready for that fight. That was fun though. After even with the one person dying, but it was fun. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of heal over times on this person while we're talking about the fight, but back to my PC build for the CPU, which is probably the next important thing, is an i7 7700K, I think. So I got that a couple years ago. That really like significantly helped with my Lotro performance in game and with streaming and recording videos and even like editing, all sorts of things like that. So before that, I think I had an AMD FX 8350, and like for Lotro specifically, it's better with higher clock speeds, like core speeds. I don't think I'm saying that right. I don't remember what it's called, but something like clock or core speeds. Like the single core speed, rather than having a bunch of different cores. So like the AMD one was 8 cores and slower than the Intel one, and the Intel one's newer. But that's a couple years old now, I think, even 2 or 3 years old maybe. And I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is a lot. That is DDR4 RAM. So I had to upgrade my motherboard when I upgraded my CPU. And Got a bunch of heal over times on them, so not going down right away. Hopefully the other tank doesn't take a whole bunch of damage right away. Okay, got an epic for the ages. Yeah, this is definitely the fun type of healing for me. Oh no. Oh, I have another do not fall. I'm gonna use it. For a level 75 instance where everybody's way over leveled, I'm being pretty entertained with all the healing I'm having to do at least. I was really hoping, considering we did have some difficulty even with this at level 75, that it wouldn't be like super easy and boring to go through and boring to watch because of that, but yeah, it's still holding up at least with me having to heal. Fights like that, they're pretty fun with that. So as far as Intel versus Ryzen for Lotro, with the CPU specifically, is you would look for something with higher core speeds, higher clock speed. So I think usually Intel, they have like fewer cores but higher speed within like the single core speed, whatever that's called. If I actually look at the thing, I can get the right name of that. So like my CPU is going at 4.5 gigahertz right now. I think the old AMD one was something like 3. The FX 8350, I think it was what it was called. So even though I only have 4 cores and the other one had 8 cores, this one is better with Lotro because of that. And I think at least in general Intel is more with that. So that's CPU and GPU, and RAM I have 16 gigabytes, that's DDR4. I am looking into, for the next thing I upgrade on my PC, either more RAM. I'm looking at 32 gigabytes more, which is like a huge jump, but it'd be pretty helpful. And then upgrading my GPU would also be the more major thing I'd be looking into. But other parts of my PC, it's pretty interesting what I have for storage. So I have a solid state drive, the one that's a few years old, the same as my GPU. I think my GPU and that old solid state drive, and then maybe one of the internal hard disk drives, are like the only 3 things that have stayed consistent. Oh, and the case is still the same for my desktop since when I got it. How much did I pay for that CPU? I don't remember. I'm thinking it was like $200 something, but I really don't remember. I just know I had like maybe $400 that I had budgeted that I could spend to upgrade my PC at the time, and I think around with that much I was able to do the motherboard, the CPU, and the RAM. But for this, oh yeah, I have to, at one point of this fight we have to just like run around and jump the whole time. That will be interesting trying to heal with that. Not sure how well that will work with the Runekeeper. Gotta make sure I get these guys in the other group healed up. Oh, and get the tank healed up. And my cat is deciding to walk in front of the mic and the screen where I can't see. Oh, I completed a deed. The prophetic word. I wonder if that's the one to use do not fall, because that's a really annoying one. Self-motivation. I need to use that anyway to conserve my power a little bit. Oh, this isn't when we do the run and jump. This is just ads. It's harder for me to tell like what phases of a fight we're on as a healer because I'm paying attention to everybody's morale and all that type of stuff instead of paying attention to as much what's going on with the fight. I think when the water rises is when you have to do the jumping, it sounds like. I need to conserve my power instead of heal everybody. Okay, but for my storage, I actually want to set it on auto run for when this comes so I can just keep pressing space and as I need to weave in some heals. So I gotta try to heal everybody, jump and like constantly jump and heal people. So, and I think I don't know if people take damage here, but okay, that is done. That was annoying as a healer. Who has Do Not Fall? Don't think it was too good. Just Kappa? I think this fight is about done. His morale looks pretty low. Okay. So that fight's interesting. It was a bit weird trying that on healer with doing the jumping, running and jumping and healing, but I didn't really need to heal at that time. But after it, I did need to heal. Everybody's morale went quite low. So on that fight, for anybody that doesn't know it, if you do not run and jump, you will instantly die, as you probably saw a couple of people in the group did. Ooh, I might roll on that cloak. Could be good for the cosmetic. Oh yeah, I have to loot the chest because we can get a sigil of Orthanc. But I don't think I ever talked about the storage for my computer. I have the regular solid state drive, which is 128 gigabytes. It's pretty small, but it has the operating system, Windows 10, and a few things. And then I have an M2 solid state drive. It's like a little chip looking thing. I think it's considered a solid state drive still. But I actually took that from an old laptop that stopped working to salvage something from it, at least, that somebody didn't need anymore. But I think we go up to the middle next, right? Oop. This way? I don't know where we're going exactly, but I will follow everybody. I was thinking the middle, back up there, because that's the actual tower. And I thought this was the exit, but maybe not. Oh, I remember this room. I just don't remember where we go from here to get to the actual tower, but should probably get some screenshots so some people might have noticed. I don't know how much attention people pay to the thumbnails anyway, but that is actually not of Tower of Orthanc, but it's one of the raids we did that looked somewhat close to Tower of Orthanc, so it's a bit representative. Unfortunately, did not actually take any, like, I did take some screenshots in this raid, but I think I can navigate to it real quick. But the one I had was I was dead, and I'm not sure why I took it, if it was just like on accident or something, but yeah, that was my screenshot for this raid that I already had from one of the times we previously ran it. But yeah, I have going back to my computer to finally get somewhat finished with that. I had one hard disk drive that I thought stopped working, and I thought that because it stopped working, It turns out it was another issue, I think, with my power supply, not being able to supply power to everything in there. So then I got another hard disk drive because those things were surprisingly cheap, and just having the space, like with recordings and everything like that, I could use all the space that I could, and kind of needed to upgrade it anyway. Because I had a 1 terabyte drive, so I got a 2 terabyte one, so I have both of those working now. And on top of that, I have another solid state drive, so I have like 3 of the faster ones, the M2, and then 2 of the regular solid state drives. So kind of crazy on my storage right now, but that is a good thing. Wow. Good job. So the warden took aggro off the guardian. That's always fun. It was something as a DPS that I like trying to do, taking aggro off the tank, because that means you're doing a lot of damage usually, but at the same time, it can be annoying for the tank and maybe the healer, because I know wardens especially can be really squishy if they take aggro. They're like medium armor, and when they're DPS spec'd, at least not that defensive. I have run into that issue with my warden as well, but if I can ever finish my PC, I think that's all like the main components. But I did have to upgrade my power supply because my desktop just like stopped working for a couple months around December, January, February, March. That's actually more than a couple months, but it was intermittently working for a couple months of those, and then a couple months, the other couple months of the 4 months or so, it like completely wasn't working. So had to go through that, and ultimately got a power supply, and everything's been working since then, like completely normal. And I guess for a few years, a couple of years, I had issues with the power supply and didn't even know it was that. So I got one with a lot more watts than like all my components, what everything said I needed. And I actually got a relatively cheap one. I think it's like bronze rated, 80 plus, whatever that is. Back when I did the research for it, I knew what all that stuff was, but yeah, I got one of the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon, which was actually cheaper than some of the ones that had fewer watt output. And with that new power supply, all of my like storage devices that stopped working are working again, so that's very nice. And then the one thing I just thought of that I didn't talk about is my old CPU fan with the AMD one was like extremely loud. So one thing I did look into for the new CPU and ultimately did get was a liquid cooler. It was like one of the cheapest ones that was available, but still significantly better, enough to cool my CPU, but just significantly better with the sound and not having to deal with the CPU fan. I actually didn't realize the bulk of my computer noise was because of the CPU fan, like not even my graphics card, the GTX 970, that's like very quiet compared to that. And I don't know if y'all can hear my computer fans at all, like when I'm not talking or even when I am talking in the background. It's probably hard for the mic to even pick that up. But it still does make some noise, the desktop especially. Like I can hear the GPU when the fan goes up on that when the temperature is getting high, but yeah, that's been nice. And hey, Valorok here. I really hope I'm saying your name at least somewhat correctly. Oh, I heard there's a gate that might shut down. There it is. It would have shut down and blocked me out like that one fight earlier on. Wow, we have 2 hobbits. It's been a while since we've had a group with that many. We usually don't get many hobbits. And we usually don't get many dwarves. It's like most people, kind of like me, I guess, play Race of Man and Elves in our kinship. But yeah, I think we covered everything. It felt like half an hour to go over just some of the stuff with my desktop and my PC build, but that's it. It's actually kind of interesting because originally I bought it. Oh, I wonder how many years ago that was. Like 6 years almost, maybe? Let's see. That would have been 2014. Wow. That's a long time ago. I don't know if that is when I bought it, but I bought a pre-built one on eBay. I wasn't too familiar with PCs and like building them and all that sort of stuff, but it seemed like a fairly priced one compared to buying like a name brand type PC. This is just like one of those shops on eBay. And this was back before I even thought about like looking on Amazon for something like that, which I think has similar things now, but yeah, that's when I initially bought it. And I think even the GPU, the GTX 970 was fairly new back then, and all the components were fairly new. Hey, Natural 20s, this is your favorite raid, hands down. That's good. It's been surprisingly entertaining because we are a bit of a high-level group. We're on Anor, the legendary server, so the level cap's 95, not everybody's level 95. I'm actually the lowest level in the raid. But back at the level 85 cap, we ran this a few times, and it was actually a little bit difficult. We would often wipe on some fights, and especially like the trash mob type fights. Those fights we would have difficulty with, especially some of the early ones. We occasionally would have trouble with bosses, but those were typically easier. So it sounds like we are having a 10-minute break as far as like the group goes. We usually take a break about an hour in. So this is a good time to talk a bit about the raid and with the PCs. Yeah, Amazon definitely now has a ton of like pre-builts like that, but that is when I originally got the PC. So your name is a Kenya name follow. I don't think that's Quenya. I think it's Kenya, but I'm not entirely sure. Name form from the words Vala, power, and Rocco. Demon. The Valarokkar, where the monstrous Meereth that Melkor took into his service to become some of his most feared and dangerous servants. Oh, in Middle Earth, that's what I was like finally getting to, so that's in Middle Earth. Their name was changed from the Quenya form Valarokkar to the more familiar Sindarin name form Balrog. So I did not know that. Valor is definitely nice and simple and short. So Natural 20s used to run this with your kin on normal servers back in 105. You still needed some of the housing stuff, and it definitely was not an easy raid. Yeah, I know with like Lotro, they've done so many balance changes and things like that over the years since Isengard was released. And I talked about this a little bit before. I never actually ran Tower of Orthanc, at least that I remember, at the level 75 cap, even though that's like the first level cap I got to. And Lotro, I did do some of the other group content and did like Dragok for a raid, but I heard that Tower of Orthanc was hard back then, and I know when the legendary servers got to 75 it was also hard. I wasn't actually here for that. I was in the middle of my not playing Lotro days during my break, and when I was also having issues with my PC. Even if I did want to play, I would have probably been crashing every other fight on them, but anyway, setting that aside, at level 85 it had some difficulty for us where we'd wipe, and I think I already talked about that, but going back to it at 95 now with this group, it is... I don't know why, but I have a card table chair. I feel like I have to specify what it is every time, but that is behind my desk. I don't know why, but it like slid away where it usually is. I'm just trying to get my legs situated, but... Okay, so you'd say Tower of Orthanc was harder than Dragok. Yeah, Dragok was the only one I remember running, and I know for at least me, that was pretty difficult. Dragok was formula-based. Yeah, I don't really remember it. That was a long time ago, and I didn't know too much about Lotro in general at that point. Feel like it's kind of boring. I'm just like sitting here talking and I realized I haven't moved the screen or done anything with that in a few minutes, but I don't know what else to do besides like spin around. But yeah, I remember enjoying the in-game content. It's been neat going back to Tower of Orthanc. And it seems like there's not only just like difficulty with having enough stats and like DPS and healing and tanks being able to take enough damage, not only difficult with like that type of thing, but there's also mechanical difficulty that we can somewhat bypass now just because of damage and how much damage you can take, like standing in the poison clouds from earlier, which I know at least for my warden back at level 85 even were a lot more deadly than they seem like they are now to everybody. So yeah, it seems like just an all-around difficult raid, and I think it's an entertaining, a fun one. One thing I really like with it is the pacing, I think. So one thing I do not like in raids is where you spend a really long time on trash fights, and I think trash fights do give a little bit of a breakup between bosses, so like if you have a raid with 5 to 10 bosses, that'd be a pretty large raid, but if you have one like that, I am more of a fan of like the boss fights, but having those broken up by trash fights I think is a good thing. Because if you just had a bunch of bosses back to back, I don't think raids would be as fun, at least. But then at the same time, I am not a big fan. Wait, what was I saying? I'm not a big fan of like having long trash fights that just like take forever, and those are like the most difficult thing. Usually if I like difficulty in a raid, it's more with the boss fights. But anyway, the pacing in this raid I think is pretty good between like the trash fights and the boss fights, at least going back through it now with our groups like this. And that's one thing, I think the level 105 raid, what was that called? What can I think of the name of that? Throne of the Dread Terror. So I did a little bit with that raid. I didn't do too much. I don't even remember if I got through every boss eventually. But with that raid, I remember one thing I didn't like about it was it seemed like the trash fights would just take forever. And it was really boring to me that it was... I don't even remember the trash fights being particularly difficult. They would just take forever. And it wasn't fun because of that. And it made like the overall raid a little bit less enjoyable. I guess everybody decided to just dance here. And does give a little bit of something instead of a completely still screen. I don't know, so you have different dance options, like you can do dance 1, dance 2, dance 3, and then you have regular dance. And on top of that, I think you can also get different emotes for like, I think somebody did like an elf or a hobbit dance. So it's nice that there are a few different options instead of just like one standard dance that every race has. There, that might be a better view of the dancing, but yeah, if bosses are hard mechanically, some trash between them does let you rest in some way, so you're not just going from like difficult fight to difficult boss fight. And I guess that's probably why, in general, like in games and instances, dungeons, anything like that, that there are trash fights to begin with. I think it would be boring if everything was just like boss fights and nothing in between that. It's kind of the same way with questing. You go into like a quest camp and whatever the story is for the reason you'd be there. Hey, Jimmy Thornshield made it to the stream. He is on live TV. Oh, not too many people are dancing anymore. I thought more people were dancing before, but... Oh, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, so quests. With those, you have like... In a quest camp, you sometimes have bosses there, like a named NPC you need to kill that's like the leader of the camp or whatever. But then you have like, throughout the entire rest of the camp, just like regular mobs you need to kill. Like little soldiers, so... It's almost similar to that, where if you went to a quest camp and it was just like maybe 2 mobs and the boss, it wouldn't be as fun, but that's also a little bit different. Not sure what my favorite raid in Lotro is. As far as instances go, I really enjoy the Moria and Ingmar ones. I'm not sure if I would have enjoyed those as much back in the day when they were released, like during Shadows of Ingmar and Mines of Moria. If I would have enjoyed them much, just because they seemed like they would have taken so long back in the day. Maybe they didn't, but at least now when you go through them at level 50 or whatever, for the Ingmar ones, you can go through them pretty quick. Hey Mark Leon, am I in a raid or just hanging? Well, right now I'm just hanging. We seem to be dancing. But this is our break time for the raid. Usually we have like a 10-minute or so break in the middle of the raid, about an hour through, and that just happens to be right now. So Valor, to keep the name short again, are you planning to give Final Fantasy XIV some try anytime in the future? I wonder if that's one of the games. Is that one that you can do? Like a free trial or even free to play? Because there are a couple games I looked at, and I was thinking EverQuest might have been the one I'm thinking of, where there's like no free trial option, and to even try it I think you'd have to pay. If that's the game I'm thinking of. So I don't think that was Final Fantasy XIV, and that is something I could consider trying. So I've talked about this at a few different points in recent streams, that I want to set a day of the week that I can explore games other than Lotro, or stream some other games that I play that aren't Lotro, which Lotro is pretty much the only game I've been playing the past couple weeks. Okay, so I'm on the left. So yeah, we're about to do this boss fight, which is not Saruman. I think we will get to him later. We'll have to do the rest of the raid to find out, but there's some giants here I think we gotta fight. Okay, so there is a trial for Final Fantasy XIV. That is nice, because I kind of miss when games had free trials, like the 7-day, 14-day, whatever trials, if they were subscription based, but you can play a lot without paying. That is good to know, because like if I enjoy a game, I don't mind paying to support it, especially if they have a friendly monetization system. I know Lotro is not the most friendly, but as an older player that's been playing a while, it is a little bit more friendly just because of that. But yeah, that's good to know. That basically means that I could adventure in it once every couple weeks or whatever, or even once a month, and probably get some enjoyment out of it. But yeah, I should probably get like a notepad to put on my desk to write some notes like this, but I will add that to the list of games I want to try. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? It's like Friday, so it's really nice that it's the upcoming weekend, but tomorrow I will be doing Dungeons and Dragons online. I don't know that Saturday will like consistently become my like day to stream games other than Lotro. I still have to pick out a day for that, but at least tomorrow specifically, I do plan to go to DDO. So yeah, I think I know some people that have played Final Fantasy XIV and really liked it, but I am really actually honestly not too familiar with it. But yeah, I will add that to the list to eventually get to. So there's no time restrictions with it. That is nice, so you can play at your convenience. Yeah, that's definitely nice. It's kind of, I guess, a little bit similar to the way Lotro is now. It's like free to play, and you can do an insane amount of grinding if you do want to unlock everything and play like completely free, but there's like, it's not like a 7-day trial or anything like that like it used to be, so it is kind of nice with that. You can just do it whenever you want. So I think we're still going over the explanation of the fight, and I remember during like Angmar days and even Moria days on the legendary server here, like I guess a year, almost even 2 years ago, when we would have this, I'd just like randomly have to listen, and since you all can't hear the Discord audio, it's like complete silence. What was that? There was something I was just thinking, oh yeah, my deeds, that I wanted to look at when I did the Do Not Fall. So I have self-starter. I need 63 more of those. And then Distracting Flame, 49 more of those. Distracting Flame is a bit of a hard one to use. It's not really that strong. The main thing I like it for when I play fire is... I do not know how to respond to that hug after that. Guess that could have been the Do Not Fall, but as far as Distracting Flame goes, I just don't use it that much. Oh, do I care to explain this fight? Oh, I really don't know. So there is one group on the left here, and one group that goes on the right, and you like fight things. I think you fight like a troll or a giant type thing on each side, so like the right group, there's one for them, and the left group that I'm in, there's one for us, and then there are, if I remember correctly, like little balls of light or something like that, like red colored or blue colored maybe, and you have to only damage your ads, I think. So yeah, I don't know if they're different colored or what the reason is for like splitting them, besides there being like two giants or whatever, and having each group split up with that. I'm sure there's reasons for that, but that much I'm not too familiar with. And then the lights, I think you have to do something to them, like Oh, it sounds like they're actually going over this now, but the lights, you have to do some sort of crowd control, so I can do like Shocking Touch to daze them, and that will get rid of their shield so I can hit them. And oh yeah, so you can't hit the lights on the other side. So like if I were over here on this left group and a DPS and I decide to help the group on the other side with their ads, I guess they do something where it will kill you, like reflect damage. I'm not entirely sure, but that is one reason for the split, at least. So it looks like my tank is Cademan. I wonder who I should put. I guess I'll do Glore for the second Do Not Fall. Oh, somebody talked about housing items in Tower of Orthanc. I'm thinking it was natural 20s. But there is something really rare that you can get from Sauron, the last boss, on tier 2. I don't remember what it is, his throne or something like that maybe? Not entirely sure, but we are running tier 1, so we can't get that, but it's like a very rare drop that I think some people, especially with Rohan housing, like being new, a lot of people in my kin or have Rohan houses that are trying to like outfit them and get all that stuff done. I am not one of those. But just thinking that would be like a nice thing to get, but we can't get it here since it's tier 1. There might be some other housing items here to get, I'm not sure. I haven't seen what, so one reason some people run old raids is to get like cosmetic items as well, but I haven't seen anything specifically from this. It's like super neat, but I don't know what it offers. There was the one cloak from the boss earlier that was, I thought could be interesting to fit into an outfit. Cloaks are one thing that don't necessarily have to like match the armor set, like be in the same set. Because sometimes you can get ones that look decent, like my cloak does not go with the set even though the colors make it look like it does. And I really like it for that, but it's like completely unrelated to the actual cosmetic armor set I'm using. So if I can try this while healing, I am using the Rock Climbers level 51 Tailor crafted armor, and I'm accidentally healing myself instead of the tank, but his morale staying up, so that's good. I'm going to toss a heal over here to the Captain and the Guardian. I assume there's no problem with me healing them over there. Ooh, these bosses are going down quick. I remember at 85 even, it seemed like it would take a while to get the bosses down, but I don't know if it's also I'm like busy healing. I don't know if I actually need to go over to heal these guys, but I see their morale going down and figure I can help while I'm not really doing much with my group. Oh. Okay, got knocked way around. Let's give them a bubble. We're only bubble 2 people with that. That was unfortunate. I thought I saw more people around and thought I would be like in the radius for that, but trying to find where my mouse is. I wanted to use my high elf racial trait. Oh, I used the wrong one. That's the immediate one, the one on the right. I should probably heal myself. Wow. I got close to being dead. I was paying attention to trying to use that one skill, and like, now I'm letting my group die. Being a very bad healer right now. So if anybody is looking how to heal, do not take lessons from that sequence there. I thought my group was like doing fine for a while, so I thought it'd be safe to try to use my fellowship damage buff, the racial trait, and try to find where my interrupt was to cancel the animation of that, but oh, it looks like ours is down. Oh. I'm gonna, I think, use a power potion to be safe. I have plenty of them. I don't know why I'm so hesitant to use them, but just to make sure I didn't run out of power right there. I think I can use our Fates Entwined. Thought I already used that. Maybe I accidentally used the Bubble Essay of Exaltation. I guess our group had a lot more DPS or something to get that, or maybe even like dealing with the ads we had, we're able to get rid of them quicker too. That's why I guess this troll giant, I guess he's not a troll, more of a giant. Oh, why it took so much longer for him to get down. Oh, did we have ads? Ooh, a starlight crystal. That will be nice. We have a lobby group going through Moria now. That's the one I do my Bayorning on Sunday evenings. I'll be streaming that. And I think I've already done one of those on stream, but that shield's not bad, but I don't know if it was quite worth rolling on that I wanted it that much for cosmetic, but running some of these raids like the 65 and 75 ones that we have done as a kin at higher level, and like the Starlit Crystals, that type of stuff is yeah, that type of stuff is good for the lobby group, which is like capped at 60 now and going to be going up to 65, then 75, and yeah, just getting that stuff is nice anyway for the lobies. So Valor asked, does the current raid fights look more or less the same as this mechanic-wise? For example, you do not see much mechanic requiring you to move away to the boss or like stuck up, for example. So that fight is pretty unusual. I think this raid has a lot of unique fights, at least with boss mechanics, but there are a bunch of fights in Lotro where you do have to like move to a specific area, move away from the boss, or like stack together. And one of the Throne of the Dread Terror raid bosses, just one of the 105 ones, I'm not as familiar with the ones after that. The Mordor one I didn't do, and unfortunately I wanted to get to the one in Grey Mountains, but I never got to that one. And I haven't done Minas Morgul yet, still working on doing Mordor Besieged on my Orden Louis in there to even get to that content. But as far as like other raids in this game go, there are a lot, I would say a lot different than that particular reg fight. So like, yeah, the Throne of the Dread Terror one that I was about to talk about, you have to like stack up as a group and it does distributed damage in like Barad Guldur, which is a Mirkwood raid that scales, so you can scale it up from 65 all the way to the level cap, which on this server is 95, but regular Lotro it's 130. That one, there are a lot of mechanics where you have to stack up and also run away and stay away from mobs, not even just bosses, but it is true for the bosses. So yeah, things like that. There is a lot of moving, and like some of the earlier trash mob fights in this raid even, we had to like stay out of poison, not like the one that's on the ground right there, but we had to run around, stay out of poison, and stay like behind mobs because they would do frontal AoEs, I think, things like that. I think some of the very early raids and instances in Lotro though, I'm not sure there was as much with like distributed damage and mechanics as far as like stacking up and spreading out goes. I'm trying to think of ones where you have to spread out. I'm pretty sure there are, but I can't think of a specific one right now, like a specific boss or raid that has that. Yeah, there are some, or actually I would say even a lot of boss fights, raid fights in Lotro that are very unique in the way the mechanics work. So like Ost Dunhoth, one of the first bosses and one of the wings of that, you're fighting like 3 big elephants, the Mumax. And it's probably hard to explain, but it's just a very unique fight where basically one tank is running away from them. Oh, oopsies. I guess I should have moved. I was trying to heal, like stand here and heal. Wow. I just wasn't quite ready for that. Yeah, I didn't get to moving behind them where I was facing. Hopefully I can get a res. I think the captain uses in combat res on the minstrel, who I don't think even necessarily needs to get me. It looks like the fight is about done. But what was I going on about? Oh yeah, that Ostunhoth fight. So I just think that one's interesting just because we're talking about boss mechanics. Because they're the 3 elephants, the Mumax. I think they're Mumax, I'm not actually entirely sure. They're the Oilafants. What are those called? It's like Oilafant or Oilafant. That's how it is. I don't know how they're actually supposed to be pronounced, if it is like elephant or just like the... But anyway, with those, there's 3 of them, and kind of, I guess, the main tank runs around the room kiting them. So that's kind of funny that the main tank is running away from the bosses but keeping aggro on them. And the rest of the group usually deals with ads, and then when the ads are dead, they like focus on one of those elephants at a time. But it's probably not really coming through with how interesting the fight is, just like talking about it. This one is kind of funny because I don't know if you all noticed, but when I like play a warden, I'm like constantly pressing these keys in the middle of combat just to like keep my fingers busy, I guess, or whatever. I don't even know exactly why I do it, but that is what I do. So it's like elephants. Okay. That is good to know because I kind of forgot exactly how that was. But this fight is funny because the first time I did it, like in a long time on my warden with this group, well, with this kinship, it wasn't this group, somebody said to move around a lot. So I was like, I already do that, so I was doing that. And he said it in a joking way because most people knew the fight that you weren't supposed to move around, but I didn't actually know that, so I started moving around and almost died because of it. So that's a little bit about this fight. You do not want to move around. I don't know if you need to stack up or spread out as far as like range. I'm used to being up here because I'm melee on my warden. I think the other two times I'm trying to think if it was 2 times, maybe even more times, 2 or 3 or however many times we've run it since I came back, that I've been on my warden each time. Otherwise, I'm not sure if there is too much to this fight besides the do not move part. That's really what I remember. So somebody in my kin just said that Saruman, it's like he expects you to get past this boss and see him. So he says, "So heroes, I see you crave my power. Meet me atop the pinnacle of Orthanc. You all shall receive as you deserve." So that's like he expects you to get past his little minion type thing here. That's kind of funny. I didn't notice that. I don't always pay too much attention to what the NPCs, friendly or enemy, are saying. Oh, so you need to kill roots. I kind of remember that, but maybe it's just range do that. That's why, like on my warden as melee, I didn't really do much. I actually think I can move. Maybe it's when you're in that purple stuff. Let's see. Because the only debuff I have is light. You are standing in the light. That doesn't even sound like a debuff. That sounds like a good thing. But if I look at these guys' debuff, Lack of Night, that gives minus run speed and increased attack duration. And oop, I wasn't paying attention to that group. That other healer needs a heal. Oh, here's the black cloud. Oh, moving through this, so this is actually the thing, this black cloud that's going around here. That is when I decided to move and like take damage. So if I move, let's see. Oh, the black cloud's gone. I want to see how much damage it did. Did a little bit of somewhat safe investigation there. But yeah, that was the time that I decided to move around on my warden. Oh, where's Vanna? So apparently, I kind of remember this as well. Somebody takes a bunch of damage. Okay. They like did something where you need to like focus heals on them, but that didn't even seem that bad. Oops. There. So I wasn't paying attention. That was a black cloud that killed me. Did anybody need help on a res deed? Westfold recipe. Yeah, I didn't see the cloud was still there, but oh, I guess I'm going to get the throne. Wow. Gotta try to position perfectly in the center. Need to scoot up a little bit. Be nice if you could make yourself like sit with the chair. Some chairs like that are movable in Lotro. You can do that. Somebody is doing a floating sit. So Valor, you love the visual effect of the Dread debuff. You did some quest in Eriador and some dungeon, and there were places with Dread. It was very climatic and makes sense from a lore view. Yeah, Dread is pretty neat. Don't know. Oh, Feint doesn't really work here. I like Feint for laying down. Sometimes lie down doesn't even work, but getting a bunch of screenshots with this. Yeah, Dread is pretty neat, even if it is sometimes annoying, but when you get like really high Dread and you have the Eye of Sauron flash on you and like have the very strong screen effect, that is pretty neat, even if it is a little bit annoying at the same time, just because it's so distracting. But again, I think like you said, that kind of makes sense. It fits within the atmosphere, and I love that. Usually I stand here. I don't know why, but I always stand here on my Warden when we do this boss. But we're already on Sauron. There is actually no trash fights there, so we're like straight to the boss. And I think you can jump off on accident, so I will try to not do that, but it's nighttime, you can't really see too much. But yeah, this is what it looks like out that way. It's probably not even a good screenshot, but I'll get a screenshot of Sauron here. Good. But yeah, it's kind of neat. You can just like run around and jump over him and he does nothing. You have to do something with these rings and you fight all the different Saurons. It's pretty neat. Maybe I shouldn't really spoiler the fight. I don't know how many people would be here watching this that are like interested in seeing it maybe for the first time or something like that. I don't want to know what the fights look like, but yeah, this is a fun fight basically. And I've never had to do anything with the rings, so I can't comment too much on those, but I think you have to like activate them and stand in the right spot and all that. Ooh, I have trait points to spend. I don't know if I want the healing runestone where it's not ground targeted. I did some investigation. I don't even necessarily want that 1 point. And the increased healing because the healing from it is pretty weak. At least last I checked. Let's check again. See who's in my group. It's Keppo. Okay, that does 201, so it's not that great. So the point, I think, is getting 30% increased on that one. It'd be great. And I actually don't want it ground targeted. I know ground targeted can be useful, but with this one, at least, I like it to go at my feet. And that way I don't have to do like 2 things to get it summoned. Sometimes if you try to summon something that's like ground target and you do it right at you, it says too close. And that's very annoying because if you want to use something quickly and you just happen to have your mouse at your feet, if you want to use it like right next to you. Like, I know I've run into that issue with the lightning and fire runestones, for example. But yeah, that's why sometimes I don't like things being ground targeted. But for my next trait, I could get Ceaseless Argument, but I don't think, especially with the cooldown now, that it's worth it. Just to have like a damage option. So I think I would just get Tactical Critical Chance for my next point. And then when I get 2 more trait points on this character, I can get the Runestone as a healer. That's nice to have the utility of and be able to stun things in AoE. Racial traits. I don't think I have any light type damage. I think it's just lightning, frost, fire with Runekeeper. Even shocking touch, that's lightning, yeah. Virtues. Actually, I have the right ones equipped for my heal spec, I think, but yeah, they're not looking that great on this character. He's kinda... So for this character, it's like in a bit of an odd spot with my virtues. Because tactical mitigation, at least at like level 50, 60, 65, 75, 85 at least, was very useful. Which potions were those that we needed? Could I have some? Apparently I don't have potions on this character. I'm kind of bad about keeping stocked up on potions on my character, like the poison, the debuff removal type ones. So, you have a trivia for me, Valor? An FF healer is expected to put some DPS between heals. You have DPS skills and need to use them, especially in progress rating. Oh, you're talking about in Final Fantasy. I think that's what you're talking about with FF. Let's see, do I have anything to trade him? Okay, so I have so many things on my bars. I gotta find room for these potions. I'll just get rid of all those little ones. I'll have to send him back some potions. Oh, these are all the way up to 110. Wow. You got some really strong potions, but yeah, so talking about DPS, like weaving in DPS as a healer between heals. So that's kind of interesting. Sounds like it makes a healer's job even tougher, but I don't know how it actually works in that. But yeah, even in Lotro, like between healing, I try to top off with DPS, but it's not really like completely necessary. It's just a thing that can help a little bit. Like I have a skill called Flurry of Words, which can help. It gives plus 3% incoming critical chance and a little bit of damage. So that's just a little bit useful. I think, I don't know if I was too close to one of them getting that silence, but oh, the main tank here isn't in my group, so he won't get the effect from Rousing Word. Oh, hold up. Got everybody the bubble except myself, so we're fighting where the tank in the other group was, but the tank that's tanking them now, I'll call him the main tank caveman there. So he is in my group, so he's the one tanking the bosses, but I think we were supposed to be in that position instead where the off tank was. But this is okay. I'll just stay back here and out of the way. This was a pretty fun fight my first time through it, because there are, well, a lot of things to it. And you just get to AoE down a bunch of Saurumans. That was really fun. Of course, right now I'm just healing everybody, not really doing much AoE. So back to the topic a little bit about Final Fantasy with the healing and DPSing. One thing I like in Lotro is with the hybrid type classes or specs that are like support but between damage and healing. So like Minstrel Yellow Line is one I think of, even Captain Blue Line is a little bit like that. So you're doing damage while kind of more while healing, and sometimes you focus like targeting enemies and dealing damage without actually doing heals. I feel like I should not be standing in the fire, but I don't think it actually does anything, which is odd. So yeah, coming from healer attitude and WoW to something like that where we're like in WoW, and I think even Lotro, usually healers just heal. Although some of them do try to do damage. That is one thing I had fun sometimes in WoW, trying to do damage while healing just to keep up if nobody's taking damage, but it's not like something that I don't think was necessary. I never really did like super hardcore rating in that to know like progression, if people ever really needed that. Because I would think at that point healers are too busy healing. But running like heroics, those were my favorite thing in WoW, just like running heroics before they introduced all the different mythic and Mythic Plus and all the tiers with that. I really like the whole heroic system. I get the idea with the mythic system in that, but I really just enjoyed running like random heroics in WoW. I don't know in Lotro, kind of thinking about, I think I even talked about this way back at some point maybe, I don't remember exactly. Oh, the 2019 producers letter for like their plans for that year. They talked about introducing the higher difficulty tiers, which they did do, but one concern I had with that is it would become like Mythic Plus and WoW. But I'm not sure that it really has become like that, but it's just a concern I had with it. We actually get out of combat between this if like somebody dies during one of those phases. So we're on the third phase. There might be like 4 phases or something. It's pretty crazy. Let's see. Good. Epic for the Ages would be a good heal, and then do bubble. Here I can use, oh, if I didn't get stunned I could have used Flurry of Words, and that's an actually useful thing that even DPS Runekeepers want to keep up. So as a healing one, it is a good thing that helps the progress, because it gives enemies the incoming critical chance 3%. Which 3% crit chance probably doesn't sound like much, just a little 3... Ooh, need to heal this Guardian. Uh-oh. Okay, his morale went up. Probably use like a cooldown or potion, or... We do have the Minstrel Healer as well, and the Captain might be using a heal once or twice. I don't know. Oh, I try to get the fear, but I don't have... Oop. I'm not doing a great job healing here right now. And I don't have a do not fall up. Dang it, I'm like totally missing things. I'm used to pressing equal for that, but for my debuff remover. Okay, so I'm going to get one do not fall on the Minstrel just so I have one of those. I should have about 2 of those going. Okay, gotta get the bubble and get Snore healed up. So I think we're coming up on the last phase, but I'm trying to get people healed. I didn't have any power. So I'm going to use steady hands just to help a little bit with the power so I don't have power costs and can get people healed up. Even if that does move me to battle attunement, I go back to healing attunement quickly. Why does his power bar have that like bubble looking thing? I don't think I've ever seen that. It might have just been like a visual bug, but it was really weird. I have really quick inductions. I don't know what was going on, but I thought rid of health. And even Mending Verse had like both of those had an instant cast. I don't think there's something in... If there's something in the blue line that makes rid of health instant cast, I don't think there is, but in the red line there is, after using like 5 fire skills, rid of fire will become instant cast. And I thought at one point that actually affected any writ. There was just at the time rid of health, and writ to fire, rid of lightning I think is fairly new. I also forgot there used to be writ of frost actually. I kind of missed that. You had like a writ for each thing you did besides lightning, and then they added lightning and got rid of frost. Need to get some power back. Oh, I think now we're going to the final phase, it sounds like, so... Oh. Didn't realize. It's kind of hard, it's probably hard for you all to see as well, but the second fellowship is just so tiny. I think I have that skill down, but I'm used to that being from like 1080p on a smaller screen, so it's like relatively bigger. Now, even my fellowship doesn't even take up that much room, but it used to be like with a smaller screen and lower resolution. Just that type of stuff takes up a huge chunk of the screen. Probably going to have to use another power potion. And I think I have another, I don't know who to use it on. I know the hunter down there is taking a lot of damage, but there's that bubble going to the power part again. That's like really weird. But I might save the last do not fall. I don't know why I said shave. I don't even know what a shave is, but save the last do not fall for if I see somebody like about to die. I thought maybe the guardian there, I didn't want to like wait for somebody to be almost dead, but who do I need to heal? The captain? I feel like as a healer I spend like 90% of combat looking at the far left of my screen. Somebody got tossed off. That's unfortunate. It was actually one of our tanks. Oh, he got the res? That actually worked? I didn't think do not fall would work. Oh, I thought I used Fates Entwined again. I didn't mean to use the bubble. Not that, like, I think the bubble is bad. Okay, I'm gonna use Steady Hands again and reduce my power cost. So I think the people that use the rings need to use those now. I shouldn't have much more to do this fight, because I think he, if I remember correctly, just goes kaput after that. We'll see. Oh, I can do damage to him. I don't know, maybe you still need to fight him, I really don't remember. I thought you might have, but it almost sounded like he just used the rings and that was it. I really don't remember. We would have many powerful servants. That's the problem there. I wouldn't want to be a servant. Even though I feel like I'm a servant to Middle Earth in a way. Oh yeah, this is when he knocks everybody. He can get knocked off and die. I've done that, I think, every time on my Warden. Well, maybe not every time, but maybe one time I actually did live. I really don't think I need to do any more healing, but I don't know, my healer, I feel like I should use my heals at least. And that is the fight. There's Gwei here. So it sounds like maybe a trophy or something could drop. Oh, you can get clasp for the legendary cloak here, but I don't have too much with that. I'm not sure, like cosmetic wise it could be interesting, but I'll probably pass on that. That looks like a really nice earring for level 75. Let's see what the cloak looks like. Oh, the pants don't look that great. Oh, the clasp is to upgrade the Dragot cloak in it. Looks cool, so I will roll on that. Thanks. Do you just need one of those for that? Okay, now I just need a Dragot cloak. Okay. So I need Dragot, the cloak for that to get the upgraded version, but use the clasp here to upgrade it. Oh, 4 AM where you are, Valor. Gonna hit the bed now. Wow. That's like close to the time I've been waking up. I've been waking up like way too early. I'm trying to get sleep in a little bit more, but that's crazy. That's like basically the opposite of me, close to when I'm waking up. It sounds like you're going to bed, but anyway, have a good night/morning/day sleep, and hope you enjoyed the stream, and thanks for stopping by and all that. But I think we're about done because we just finished the raid. We just finished the Tower of Orthanc. It's a fun raid. I don't know, as far as the stream goes, this is all I had planned, but I can do maybe a little bit more. Sometimes we run like little things afterwards, especially if it's like a short thing, so we'll see on that. Otherwise, I think most people know what's going on in the future for content like that. Ooh, this is like really nice looking with the bloom. I don't think I've ever seen that in Edoras before. What is it? Morning? 4 dawn, yeah. So it's about to be morning, and I just really like the look with the bloom here. I think bloom in general in Lotro just makes things look better because it doesn't really change the things that are there, but it almost hides. Like if Lotro had some bad graphical parts, like some of it that doesn't quite look as good, kind of having the bloom I think hides that a little bit. And I just like the look of it. I know other people don't as much, that's why I talk about it for so long, but yeah, maybe it sounds like we could do an epic battle. The epic battle. What? Control J. There we go. Trying to pull that up. That's why I was opening all those panels. So there is, as far as epic battles that I need, it sounds like we might try to run that, which is good with me. I still need to do So it sounds like we'll be doing that in about 10 minutes, whatever we run. I think I just said this, but that would be in 10 minutes that we do that. Otherwise, on this character, I know kind of the stream, as far as like what, so the way I try to organize my streams is listening to the Discord chat about what's going on, but the way I organize the streams is like when I'm doing a series, doing a playthrough through like a zone. So like on my Runekeeper here, I'm doing a playthrough with Western Rohan. I feel like just to keep that consistent in the entire playthrough with that, I don't feel like I should be doing Western Rohan questing, because this is like in a Tower of Orthanc themed stream. So that's just my thoughts on that. If anybody has any comments on that, I'm always happy to hear about it, but at least for my thoughts on why I kind of organize the streams the way I do. I really like the look of this town with the bloom. I think it also helps with like screenshots. They look better with bloom as well compared to just a screenshot without it. Gunlog, I would be up for, what is it, Deeping Wall at least duo. Might try to do that just to get some progress. Yeah, it's the one right after it. Okay, that works. Okay, so I will, if we don't do Helmsdyke, the Fellowship version, then we can do Deeping Wall. I'll do Deeping Wall duo with somebody, is what is going on. So either way, we're going to do one epic battle. I just won't do any actual questing here. Oh yeah, I didn't actually end up using any of those potions. There was one point where I should have used a fear one, but I tried to use my skill instead. Let's see, I'm trying to think of something useful that he could use. Zierlingas, is that Westamnet? I think Westamnet is the, yeah, that's the new one. We'll send that. There. Anyway, because I always forget my potions. Speaking of that, I should probably go ahead and buy some potions. Oh, this one doesn't sell them. I think it's the healers. Don't know where there's a healer here in Edoras. Here's one. So it could be good to go ahead and get the level 110 ones. Let's see, there's 55, 80, 90. 90 might be weak. 100 is probably what's... Oops. Did not mean to buy that. I just wasted 75 copper. But this one's only 1 silver more. and it will last a while. So if I buy like a full stack of each of these, it should last me plenty, because that'll go to 110, which includes, I think all the 105 content should be included in that. I don't know if there's like a 115 one, if there are like some effects that go up to 113 or whatever, but usually they're 5 levels above the maximum mob level for like that general range, or the level cap, I mean, at that time. Ooh, now it's raining. So it's raining, you can still see, and it's kind of clear out. Weather in Lotro is a bit weird, so talked about this in the streams before, but I'm going to school to kind of study weather in a way. So it's always interesting seeing how it plays out in games and Lotro and things like that. Even like movies and TV shows is just something I pay some extra attention to. Seems possible that it could be raining now, but not too likely based on the sky. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I got off the mount and zoomed in. There you can look straight up. But anyway, I think I just said this, but I don't have much to do while we wait, but we should be going in a minute. It's kind of like in the middle of the raid while doing the break there. I actually had something to talk about then, though. So I mentioned I had an old Lotro screenshot folder, which I don't think I can get to right now because, well, for one, I can't see, and for two, I need to connect my external hard drive to my computer. And another thing I need to do, I will be taking like a 10-second AFK. I need to turn a lamp on, or actually I don't have my lamps set up, but turn a light on because it's gotten very dark here. So be right back. Okay, so I did not find anything to connect my external hard drive. Yeah, I'd have to. Actually, I can do something, but just something to do while waiting. Oh, I unplugged the wrong thing. Now I gotta find where the USB port on my PC is. Because I can get to it. I have my desktop actually like kind of cornered off where it's hard to access, but I can get to it. I don't think I'm muted myself. Hopefully I'm not talking. Yeah. Okay, it's probably, the mic is like facing forward. I'm like totally shifted from that, so I don't even know how well you all can hear me. I need my flashlight to actually see this. Okay, got one part connected. I need to plug it into the hard drive. This is just like a USB 2 wire, even though the external hard drive is USB 3. Okay, so that should be connected and coming up now. Sounds like people are back, and File Explorer is deciding to not work, probably because I just plugged the hard drive in. I hope the hard drive isn't not working, because I had an old wire attached to it thinking that would work, but at the same time I thought that wire didn't work, and Just the external hard drive didn't work with that, but I assumed it was because of the wire. I haven't really needed it. Oh, my whole Windows is crashing. Oh no. Well, hopefully the stream is still going. I cannot see anything. I can move in Lotro. It's just Windows Explorer, I think, decided to not work. So yeah, if I do like the window key to see anything, I cannot look at any of that. So that's great, but at least it looks like everything with the stream is still going, and we're about back anyway. But what I was doing was looking for on the external hard drive. I have like an old backup from my early days in Lotro, and I thought that might give a little clearer picture of what level my Runekeeper was when Rise of Isengard was going on, and at what point I got him to the level cap, if I actually did get him to the cap in 75, but I don't remember. Are you all in the group? Oh. Yes, this was Helmsdyke, right? Yep. Wow. So apparently they were doing this without me. Oh, did you already have 6? Oh, I didn't know that. I was just like waiting here for everybody to get back. Oh. Oh, I didn't see that, yeah. Okay, so apparently they had a message in kin chat waiting for people, and I just totally didn't read that. But I could also run Deeping Wall if they are full. So either way, I'm going to run an epic battle. Whether it's with that group, I'll even do a solo Deeping Wall if I have to. I don't know if somebody's dropping. I'm trying to hear what's going on. You'll probably just see me running around doing nothing, not talking, but just getting set up since I don't have too much to do on this character right now. Just waiting to find out what's going on. Well, I could also run Deeping Wall, I think. That way nobody has to drop. Sure, that works. Okay, I think somebody's dropping their spot for me is what's going on. I only see 4 people in their group though, that's why I'm not sure. There might have been 6 earlier. Okay, yeah, there is 6. Oh, somebody not on the kin. So the person that's not on the kin in this group has their alt in the kinship that plays with like our lobby group as well, but well, thank you for the spot, Glor. I didn't mean for anybody to drop, but it sounded like he might have wanted to anyway. What's my... oh, there. Why is the map... this is the... so this is the same map that is Deeping Wall. Home's Deep. Oh, I can't do it from there. What if I do Homestead Westwall? Oh. I just can barely see since it's way up here. The map is all shifted for me, I think. I don't know, maybe this is usually what it is. So I gotta get like totally back into the big battle. Yep. Oh. I don't know what happened, but... Oh, Windows Explorer came back up. Talking about that a bit ago, that it crashed. It came back up, and I just looked at my second screen, and everything was like shifted positions. So that's what happened. So I'm trying to look what I need to be doing. So first, check my promotion points, and I do have some available. So this is when you need to get... Yeah, this map is really hard to see. I don't know why it's going to this one, because that's definitely not what it's normal like, I don't think. I think I need to get arrows to talk to him and tell him to fire. So we did, I think, in the Rediscovering Helm's Deep stream from a couple days ago. We did this epic battle, the 6-man, and we were at one of those side missions. I still don't know what those are technically called, so I'm still gonna call them side missions. Where you just picked up the arrows and went by somebody and they would take the arrows if they were out, but this one you take the arrows to them and you like tell them to fire. And I think maybe at the same time you need to damage these enemies so they don't do anything. I'm doing like a ton of damage to him, but he's not actually dropping that. Ooh, there's 5 on my map. But I don't know what was going on with that damage. The mob's morale wasn't going down for like the damage I was doing. Oh, do you not need to pick up the arrows? Oh, that was the only time I could actually tell them to fire. Oh, I don't know what was going on with the screen there, trying to place the runestone. So let's see if this mob's... Yeah, his morale's going down about what I'm doing, damage-wise. That was just really weird, that one mob. Maybe I was even... Oh yeah, I see it is like a 30-second cooldown. Okay. So I don't think this one, maybe you need to take them arrows like once to activate them. Really don't know, but defend the archers here, and that's, I guess, the main goal. Defend the archers and tell them to fire every 30 seconds. So about to need to tell this one to fire. Waiting further orders. Should be able to just give them the orders to keep firing and not have to do it every 30 seconds. Somebody put a lot of barricades here. I think it's the orc starters, what they're called. Oh, I guess I can't do anything to this, it's just forever on fire. Yeah, this map, I really don't think it's the usual one, but maybe I'm just going crazy. So potentially for anybody recently joining the stream, obviously I'm not doing Tower of Orthanc, but the stream has been going for about 2.5 hours, and we already finished that about half an hour ago. It took us almost exactly 2 hours. The stream might have been going about 15 minutes before the raid started that we actually did it, but oops, I forgot to tell this guy to fire. I should also heal him. I can actually switch to the heal spec. Back in the old days of Lotro, you could switch specs right away after doing this heal, but he'll be nice and healed up and after a minute. Oh. How did we fail? We failed, but I don't know what happened. Oh, I don't even know what we were trying to kill them. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, Tower of Orthanc we already did. So just doing an epic battle before I head off for the evening. Oh yeah, I want to see, since there's really not all that much you can do during these downtimes of stuff. So my external hard drive is still working and I still have the old Lotro screenshot folder. Okay, so I need to go west here. But yeah, during this part of epic battles, there's really not too much to contribute, especially as a lower ranked person. I do have my promotion points to spend though, so I can do something useful. Disable probably 2 in here as well. Yeah, I can't, that takes 8 points to do that, so there we go. So placeable barricades, place traps, and upgrade armor on siege weapons. So I don't know how to get the placeable barricades. I think you have to like go to a crate and place them. Oh, we need to go to the east anyway. I didn't even notice that it like switched. I wonder why there is nobody coming up to fight. That's another thing, like I feel like there's no real indication. It did say gambling calls out there marching on the eastern side, but for me at least that's very easy to miss. Okay, so these little boxes, I think they have like the, well, those aren't the barricades. Munitions? I want to count as barricades. Oh. Do any of you know where I can do this like movable barricades thing as an engineer? 3? I thought it said, yeah. It says with rank 1, utilize placeable barricades. Rank 3 is catapults and something else, I think. I don't know if it means like these barricades, because these barricades I thought I could do before rank 1. I'm just trying to find out more how epic battles work. So there are like placeable barricades I think you can do. Dismantle, repair, extinguish, upgrade damage. Oh, there's a box there. I'm gonna follow Capo around, see what he does. I wonder if that box was one of the like the barricades. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what it was. Wonder why a barricade is here, if mobs ever come up from the other side, or what's going on with this, like for one of those side things. side missions, as I call them. This one's almost done. One more tick, maybe? Yep. Now, if only I could move that, it feels like it's not in a great spot. So I'm just following Capo around, and it looks like he is dismantling a barricade I just built. Oh, maybe not. Oh, upgrading it. That's better. I really thought he was like dismantling it to maybe move it, but because there really is during these parts of epic battles, I haven't noticed that it's like important to hit mobs. I talk about this every time during an epic battle just because there's not much to do at this point besides talk about there not being much to do. But once I'm like a higher rank engineer, I can be like Capo there and upgrade the barricades, and somebody just put a ballista here. Okay, I did not need to fire his ballista, but I wanted to do something. I didn't realize it wasn't aimed yet, actually. Guarding the watchtowers. Oh, this one's fun, I think. It's difficult, but I think it's a fun one. So one time we were doing it, we had a full 6 group. This was actually the first epic battle I did, the first 6-man. It was that introduction to epic battle. So the second stream since I returned to YouTube and doing streams and all that good stuff. So it was that one, and that's when we also discovered you had to do like the solo/duo version first. So are we doing 3 each? Okay, need one more at the west one then. So when I'm high enough rank, should I just have like a button that does a placeable barricade? Okay. I don't think I can dismantle ones yet, and I haven't seen one to pick up at least. But yeah, just trying to remember how all of this works. So make sure watchtower stays healed up. I don't remember that's how you target it. Oh yeah, this is one where it's not on line of sight, so... Oh yeah, it did. I thought I remembered healing it, but I remember the line of sight issue as well. I know you can't heal it after like a certain point, but maybe doing the bubble helps, and they get the red bar where like that's permanent damage. I don't know why my W key stopped working. So I can do caltrops here. That should help a little bit. Not sure if mobs only come from this side, but at least for now, I will defend here and act to slow them down a little bit. Because just getting a head start of damage while they're way over here helps prevent them from doing much when they actually get to the tower. If they get to the tower, you could even stop that completely as well. But maybe mobs do come from the other side as well, so you shouldn't just go there. But it looks set pretty nicely. They got their barricades and all that stuff set up. I don't know, we are the west tower, so we've taken 10% damage. The central one taken 20%, which isn't bad. Again, the first time we did this, it was a quick fail. Unfortunately, the tower I was at was doing okay, but it wasn't even great. Over time, I think we would have lost that tower, but I think the central one, I was also on the west at that time. I think I was at the west one, but yeah, that went down. Even. Well, we've defended a lot of scouts from assaults. So we need one more wave. I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty tough wave, but can stun them, and then I'll have a daze when they come up here maybe, and just keep damaging them. This is what actually doing damage is going to be useful as well. So I think that would be the last wave. If it counts correctly, I thought it was already at 7 before that, but maybe this wave has 2 waves in it or something. Yeah, we still have some coming along, but just get them, stop them, stun them, slow them. They weren't even getting close to the tower now. The central tower started taking quite a bit of damage. It got up to 50%, but we kept ours down to 10%. I feel like largely due to the 2 engineers here, their ballistas and all the barricades. Barricades slowed down the mobs, and I gotta try to steal somebody's barricades and then break it down. So what did we get? It's always so hard for me to tell what our reward was. Stars of mirror. I can't see what we completed it with. Sometimes put that in the notification, but I don't even see anything. Let's see. Oh yes, I want to try that. He's going to dismantle the barricade. I was going to try to steal one of theirs, I just said, but I want to see how this works. I'm pretty sure it goes in that little box, and that's when I can pick it up. Yes, that one I can do. And yeah, now I have the skill on that skill bar. So yeah, just trying to remember how this works. I thought you had to pick up the boxes, and maybe that's where these people found them in boxes, and they already took them all. That's this one. I think, let's see, there's this archer. Oh, probably shouldn't have done the barricade facing like that, but that's okay. I think you just, when you have the arrow, you go by these archers when caltrops as well. From what I remember, some of the orcs tried to attack these archers. That's why I'm putting all these here. Like the goblin saboteur, maybe? Oh no. Yeah, so just waiting for... Okay, so got him my arrows. Oh yeah, here. It actually came. I did put the barricade in a decent spot. Gonna use... I don't think my runestone work to stun them. That was a bit weird. Okay, so need to find some more arrows. Oh, there's a war machine right there. Wonder if you can hit it. I didn't realize you could attack the war machines. So did the archer. Well, that was actually more fun since I got to actually deal with it. So, yeah, I got the one on the west down. So do the archers just get the one in the middle and we get the other ones? Okay. Oh, we got a platinum. Wow. Where does it say we got platinum? There we go, awarding platinum. Okay. Yeah, the first time we ran it, I didn't realize the other ones you had to attack yourself. So last time we did that, I was just standing by the middle archers the whole time doing nothing and didn't realize there were other ones that you could attack, like we already took care of them, but then there were the ones to the side that needed something. Okay, so I don't know how many more things we have for this epic battle. I never remember if there's like 3 side missions you do for what. Maybe this time I'll actually remember if we have like one more or not, but... yeah, otherwise in general there's, I guess, not too much to do now. I think we did all those side missions. By now all there is, I'm getting hiccups. Seem to get hiccups every stream, I guess just talking a lot. I don't even really know why, but maybe just talking a lot. Otherwise, I think all there is to do is just like hit these enemies, which really doesn't do much. Being like an engineer with all these barricades helps, and with an officer, it seems like the soldiers do more than enough. If you have like an officer and can do more with the soldiers, their commander damage. Well, somebody can actually target priority archers on them. I don't know if somebody is an officer and that's what they were doing, but yeah, and otherwise I guess Vanguard, you could be going like on your kill streaks and all that. Oh, so I think, so looking at my build a little bit, you might see I have 2 points in Fate. Yet if I only put 1 point in Fate, I'd have enough trait points to get another % tactical damage, which I'd rather, but this build was like for my final 85 build, which at that level cap I just wanted to spend all the trait points, so I had 1 left over that I put in Fate just as like a complete filler type thing. So now that I'm past 85, I was thinking I'd just respec to get rid of that. So that's what's going on with my traits for yellow line here. Epic battles really do take a long time. I don't know, it's just there's too much of this part of them for me. And I talked about this the last downtime, that all there is to talk about during the downtime is about the downtime. But this is almost like trash fights. We were talking about this during the raid Tower of Orthanc. But it's almost like that, in that if the trash fights are too long in a raid, it really bores me. And this is kind of like that, where it feels too long and there's just not too much going on, where I'm just like, I might as well not even be pressing buttons, to be honest. But yeah, that's just like the biggest thing with epic battles that makes them boring to me, is this part. Otherwise, like the side missions, like the one defending the towers, that was pretty fun. And even a little bit the one with the archers, where we had to destroy the siege machine, war machines, and I got to take that down. That was more fun. But it's like right here, this part, that's and I think just for the overall mood for the epic battle, that's what makes it feel not epic. But epic battles are what they are, and can focus at least more on the enjoyable parts. And during now, this is actually a good time that I could just do nothing and look. For some reason, I don't know if it's because of the connection I have with the external hard drive, but I did say that Windows Explorer decided to start working again. Oh, maybe it's just about to crash, which isn't a good thing, but as long as the stream stays up, I don't really need to look at. But I just had that old screenshot folder, and I was going to finally look at to let you all know about the characters. Which reminds me, I have a planned video with something. Talked about it in one of my return videos, or stream even. That I got to actually remember that I had plans for that. Otherwise, with upcoming videos, just to talk about it again. I seem to talk about it a lot, but I like at the end of streams talking a little bit about the upcoming stuff, because we are going to be at the end here, because we finished the epic battle, and that's like all the group content. And that sort of stuff. I get some gear. So I'd have to actually get out of this. It looks like the gear's still 85, even though I'm level 86. I thought it scaled like perfectly to your level, but maybe it's at like 85, 90, 95, or even 85 straight to 95. I'm not sure. Or how that would work at lower levels too, if it's broken off to groups, like every 5 levels maybe. But I always thought just epic battle jewelry scaled like perfectly to your level. Anyway, we only got silver on that. But to look at the gear that I did get, I don't think that bracelet's an upgrade, and I don't think the earring's an upgrade, which is unfortunate, but it's okay. Oh, I also got the necklace, but that's not an upgrade. But it's unfortunate, but also not like a bad thing, because I am only level 85. I care more about the gear once I finally get to 95. But yeah, that will be all there is for this stream. Tomorrow, just for like the more immediate future, tomorrow I do plan to stream in the evening around same general time and explore Dungeons and Dragons Online and do their DDO free quest coupon code, so I can unlock everything, or at least unlock all the quest packs. And I really have no idea what to expect for that game, so that should be exciting. And as far as this stream goes, I hope everybody enjoyed watching us go through Tower of Orthanc. That was very fun. Oops, if I can spell. But yeah, I hope you all did enjoy going through Tower of Orthanc. It's a fun raid for me, and even though we were high level, it was still entertaining, and I had a lot to do as a healer. So that was, I think, pretty fun. And the other part we did was Epic Battle, which we just finished. That was more unplanned, but sometimes we do additional things like after our main event with the kin, so that was what was going on with that. And I hope you all enjoyed both of those combined, basically. And yeah, anyway, if you did enjoy this stream, please consider liking and subscribing for more, and thanks for watching and joining, everybody.